Hello, my little weirdos. Um, Things are a little better. Things are rough for my sister. They work, both of them work at my sister and brother-in-law both work at a furniture store. Um, she sales and him in the office stuff, um, shipping and stuff like that. But they're already starting to feel they're worried about the steel stuff because they don't they're what they deal with furniture that's well made. I mean, not cheap. It's not cheaper furniture, because it's solidly made. There's none of that fucking plywood kind of pressed wood shit. Not plywood, pressed wood or anything like that. This is solid stuff. I mean, solid steel, and I mean solid things in like the sleeper beds or like the bed they gave me for moving here. I mean, it's one that doesn't have a box spring or anything. It's just that super heavy steel with the spring, heavy steel springs. Oh my God, you've never had a better night's sleep. Fucking seriously, it's just a it's just a mattress on. Yeah, see? Just a mattress. An excellent mattress. Thick, a thick, solid mattress. It's firm, but it's oh my God. That, if you're ever having to get another bed sometime in the future, that's the sort. You don't have to worry about a box spring and a mattress. I have not, I've been in this with this bed for 3.5 years. I've not had to turn it once, and it still looks pristine as far as no depression, for real. And so they're good, well made furniture. So you use good stuff and materials, and that's going up. But they were, and I made it clear this is a it's just to keep my phone on because they don't it's very inexpensive. It's 16 $20 a month, but you don't make um they don't make payment plans or extensions or anything. It's just, it's all strictly like mobile. You don't talk to anybody, so the gives and takes of, but because it's so inexpensive, you know. Um, so she sent me like the overnight through Amazon. Those cards, like a Visa card, but it's, yeah, like you can reload or yeah, something like that. So she sent, so I was able to make that payment, and I'll be able to get, for anybody that's watched my other videos, Raspy. I think it's a combination of two things. I think he is still slightly constipated, but I think he's not interested in a lot either because he's older. And to be honest, food doesn't always excite me either. There's lots of days I'm just like, did I eat? I really don't even remember if I ate yesterday, to be honest with you. I don't think I did. I drink a lot of fluids, like water with Mio drops in it, but I don't. I think I might have. No, that was the day before I had half an apple. I know it's ridiculous. You're like, I think I did have half a chicken breast. Yes, while I was trying to puree some up for him. Yeah. I did get the SNAP benefits. They're in. And it was actually a little bit more, just like $20 more. Too bad I can't use that on them. But probably because I didn't have SSI. By the way, I found out, and I will be paying that back to my sister because I know they're not making, nobody's selling a lot of furniture, and that messes because she works with commission. So, and I made clear that it's not just help me out, please. It's definitely, I'm paying it fucking back when they get this shit straightened out. But we got it straightened out. Got it straightened out. For some reason, the guy on the phone yesterday said, "You're right. You should not have been kicked off the SSI before you were approved. And there's no reason why you weren't approved for your own Social Security, straight up Social Security. But you don't need a marriage or divorce thing for that. It's your own benefits." I said, "Exactly. So why wasn't I approved for that? And why was I kicked off of the one program before?" He goes, "None of this makes it." He put me on hold. I said this on a video, a long video. My caseworker is going to be coming in an hour or so to get me to go food shopping. After that, before he brings me home, we're going back to the Social Security. The guy told me, I not only am I bringing the marriage license and the divorce decree papers, because they have to see the original, and they'll take a copy. Yeah. Well, the guy on the phone told me, "You tell that security officer, I know they don't normally do this, but this was our fault. We need to expedite this. This was not something that you made a mistake. You should not have been kicked off of that program. You should have gotten SSI this month until we got this other paperwork." So I'm not only bringing those two things, I'm bringing my birth certificate, I'm bringing my ex-husband's copy of his birth certificate and a copy of his death certificate. I mean, I'm bringing everything I fucking have, so they can't say they need this or that. Because for my own things, they might say, "Oh, well, we need a new copy of your birth certificate." Fucking got it. And I got it, the ID's expired, but it's just an ID. It's not, a license. I mean, I don't change me, It just outdated, but that's not a problem because I do have a star on mine, though. But I don't have a passport. So, what I'm going to do, for anybody that has cats, if you ever have a cat with, and it's constipated or something, there is something for people that you can use. And this, vets will tell you. You can look it up. It is safe. Because a lot of things, like, do never give a cat ibuprofen. It'll kill them. It's toxic to them. Probably, I think, to dogs, too. But never let them get a hold of one. There's a lot of things that you can't use from people stuff to animals. And you wouldn't, like, why not? But this you can. And not all constipation things you can. The Miralax you can. It's a powder, and you just sprinkle it into water, like for people, and drink it. But if you want to put it in like a little teeny bit of milk, or what I want to do is get the lickables, because that has a smell. If he'll eat those, then I can sprinkle some on that and let him eat that. So, plus the lickables will give him a little more moisture, and it will give him, it has those things that make them want to eat, that get the taste. Because as you get older, sometimes, and when you're not feeling well, your smell and your taste goes, and you don't have an appetite. Well, that can start a bad chain reaction if you don't eat and drink, especially for cats. So that's why I'm praying if I get, my sister was able to send me a $50. It was enough to pay the phone bill, and I'll have just enough to get some lickables, just because I cannot work the election for 16 hours on Tuesday worried about him. So if I can't get him to eat enough to get any of this in him yet, because he takes a few mouthfuls and that's it. And partly might be because he's constipated. I just have to try everything I can. So the lickables, if he'll lick on those, I'll distract her and only give it to him. Usually I give to both, but it's valuable until I get my money. And when I get my money, I'll get some more, and it's not a problem. But just so you know, Miralax you can use for cats. Of course, you're only going to use like a quarter of a teaspoon or less for an adult cat. Seriously. Just, like, pinch and sprinkle it in. And any of it should help. And try to get them to drink, because what it does is it takes any available water in the body and brings it into the in the intestine, and it brings it over where to try to soften that up so he can get it out. He has been going like standing at the cat box. Yesterday and today I caught him. And yesterday and the day before, I caught him up at the sink drinking because he won't drink out of a bowl. It has to be running. So I got a calcium lime ring in my bathroom sink because there's always like a bare trickle run kind of thing between a drip and a trickle. Because that's the only way he'll drink. Sometimes strays are like that. They get their food, their water from what they eat. You know, like if it's a mouse or something. Yeah. And he definitely had a hard life before he found me. But this is very safe. Just obviously use a very, 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 very scaled down amount as you use for a human. In fact, you can look it up online, how much Miralax for a cat, and it'll tell you exactly what, because vets will recommend it. Emergency vets will recommend Miralax. It's something that you can get at the store. It's not like through a vet or something like that. It's not a prescription. And I don't have that in the house for me. I have it in there for Raspy. Fucking for real. So that's just the update. The phone has been paid, so I'm not flipping out that that's going to go. Because when you don't have a car and you have one phone and the internet, and if those are both gone, the only reason the internet's still on is it's supposed to be paid today. They put it in. I had like $20 in the bank. On the 27th, they did like they do so they don't go into past due. You make a payment a future payment, you make a payment agreement, right? It was on the 5th because I didn't know if I was going to get SSI or Social Security. SSI is on the 1st. Yeah, so I did that, and it wasn't supposed to be put in until June 5th, today, into my bank. They put it in the next day, on the 28th, which put everything. I only had $20. 150 isn't going to cut it. So it went into overdraft. They paid it, but it's like 100. Well, it's 160 or 70 something now because they added, because it went into overdraft and immediately charged on top of that another $36, which pissed me off. And I tried to get them to. They said they would reverse it, and so that way I could get the bank to reverse their thing. But I looked the other day and they never did. But that was a blessing in disguise, because if they had, it'd be turned off today because I couldn't get it paid. They already paid it. Who I owe now is the bank, which sucks that it's in overdraft for like a fucking week or two. And that 20, I was just making sure I had something, for the end of the month. Trying. So it's just super frustrating, even when I did a little bit of backup, it was like, are you fucking joking me? So hopefully, when I get back from shopping, they will have been able to take the paperwork and not just drop it, because the guy told me, listen, we don't need you back for anything else, so we don't need you to come back to pick up your paperwork. One of the agents will just take 2 minutes, verify it, get a copy, verify she saw the originals, and let you take it there. And then we can finish your claims and either get you back on SSI or approve you for Social Security and, get going and expedite what's happening here. Pray that it goes the way he's hoping it goes for me. Because he can't talk. The security officer is a security officer. He's not a Social Security officer. He's a security officer. So he doesn't know anything about Social Security. He just works as a security officer. A security office company pays him, not Social Security. So hopefully he'll remember me because I have blue hair. Hopefully, I have the ticket from still in my purse since since I was there Monday. I kept it, and that'll have come in handy because I can show the security officer. I was like, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I was here on Monday, and here's the thing, and this is what I was told: to bring this stuff in, and to please ask you to ask an agent to take care of this. It's only going to take a few minutes because Social Security made an error. It's their fault. I don't have money for anything, and everything's getting delinquent. And that they need to expedite this for me, and that I don't need to come in for anything else. This is all they need, so they don't want to have to hold my paperwork, till I can find a ride to get back in. Let's hope it works. Thank God I saved that ticket and didn't throw it away. I have a habit of sticking things in my purse for a couple days. Thank God. So anyway, at least I'll have some stuff done, and I'll definitely have the lickables. I'll know if he'll probably eat them. He still has brightness in his eyes. He just doesn't have a lot of strength, I mean, he came out, he didn't even eat this morning. He looked, he said hi, and he went back to sleep in his little cube. But we do have air on, air now, air conditioning. That screen, when you next see the squirrels, I'll get peanuts today, so I'll feed squirrels. And I'll get some video. You'll see brand new screen. No more of that little rubber cement where I tried to, mend it last summer because it wasn't going yet. It was just looking like the sun was wearing, the screen down in the corner. What a few weeks, huh? And I know I didn't. You're gonna be like, Judy, you never said much. Well, yeah, I didn't show any panic much because what was the fucking point in letting y'all panic? This is why I didn't tell my sis or brother-in-law anything until Monday when I finally found out what the hell was going on. I didn't know. All this time, I had no idea that's all they needed. I had no idea. They didn't tell me. And even my caseworker looked at the paperwork that I did finally get, even late stuff. None of it. Not one piece of it. 6 pieces. Not one said you need your marriage license and your divorce papers. Not one. So I wouldn't have known, even if the mail had gotten delivered in an accurate time and not misdelivered and taken forever to get back to me. Even if that hadn't happened, it didn't say that it needed anything from me. And that's what the guy saw. He saw that doesn't make any sense because we didn't send an electronic thing. We didn't send anything that you asked us to. I said, I know. I'm telling you I didn't find anything. Let's just hope it gets fixed fast. And in the end, at least I have had some of an experience now with Social Security in the insanity that's ensuing. So maybe I can help some others be prepared for certain things, or know how maybe to go about it now. Who knows why the hell you go through things. I'm just grateful my sister was able to. I know the furniture business, a lot of them businesses are not doing well because of everything costing so much because of the fucking tariffs. That's why I didn't want to let them know until it was a dire situation. Until I knew what was happening, because I didn't want them to feel like, oh God, we can't help you. I didn't want them to think, oh well, we have to, lend you a couple hundred. No. It's just the bare minimum. I already talked to the complex. They were like, got it. Just keep us updated. Call the electric company. I'll be calling the gas company a little bit later today, or tomorrow, and effing crazy, guys. Flippin' crazy. How did they manage to not only not approve me for my own Social Security? You don't need my marriage or anything. It's my own wages I earned. And why was I? That was the one fuck up. And the other fuck up was I was kicked off of SSI. The only thing I asked the guy, I said, is it possible that they approved me for my own and then went processing the beneficiary, saw that they didn't have what they needed for that, but when they approved me for mine, maybe it kicked me off of SSI, and then when the beneficiary was processed, it said I needed paperwork. Maybe that, for some reason, some idiot kicked me off of my Social Security approval. Is that a feasibility? I don't know how your program. I mean, is that possible? He goes, I don't know. He goes, I understand why you're asking. He goes, I don't know. I even after 20 minutes, he's like, I can't find what happened. But you're correct. It shouldn't have happened. And we didn't ask for any of that information, so I don't know why we didn't ask. Yeah. So even if you take care of everything and keep on it and make sure and preface things to people and say, listen, I'm not getting the mail, so can we do a backup in case I don't get something and you don't get something that you need from me? You can tell me we need something. Hello, did you get that? That didn't work either, apparently. So do what you do with that information, but be prepared, because even if it's their fault, you're going to need something or someone to help, even just loan to you for a few weeks or something. So just be prepared. If I had been prepared for that to happen, that it could happen, it would not have been such a panic thing. I would have looked into everything I would have need. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. I shouldn't have been kicked off the one program. I shouldn't be in this situation. If I wasn't approved, I shouldn't have been kicked off the current program I am approved of.